You, Ayanokoji, right? I f- yeah, so it's his father's doing. Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Classroom of the Elite, Season 3, Episode 6. It is better to receive an injury than to inflict one. Last episode. What happened? Ichinose confronted her past about stealing this pin for her sister and told her whole class, and they forgave her. And yeah, Sakayanagi's plan didn't work out. Manabu showed up with some teachers declaring that they are not going to be tolerating any more rumors. And Ayanokoji is like, this was all part of my plan. And he also had some kind of deal with Kushida where she gave him information, secrets, I guess, and he gave that to the vice president or whatever of the student council and had him post all these rumors all over the school. And that's sort of like what brought the teachers in Manapu back in there saying no more rumors. And he said that he did this in order to see how deep Kushida's information went. And he also did that in order to get her expelled. So that's why the episode ended. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and please consider supporting me on Patreon at patreon.com/feelimini. And now let's start this episode. And here we go.
Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review.
Oh, they also made a pact, a deal. Sakayanagi and Ayanokoji. Yeah. Aww.
追加の特別試験を行うこととなった。
What the heck?
なんすかそれ。なんでなんですか。理由を説明してください。
So they can expel people.
特別試験の内容はクラス内投票だ。
Huh? Let's vote on what? Who to expel? Because if they're saying that has been no expulsion, that means they want to expel somebody. And if it's gonna be a class vote, then I'm guessing that's what it's gonna be about. What the frick? Well, they haven't actually revealed it, but I'm like, what the frick? I went to my brother's place today, and we were talking about anime and stuff. I have two brothers. One is way more immersed than the other, and I went to the other ones, the one that's not that immersed into it. He's a fan of Attack on Titan. He's watched that thing like so many times. Um, and we were talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. Well, he brought up Jujutsu Kaisen and about how he's not, I don't know, he's not that interested in it. Like all the fight scenes are cool and everything, but he wants some kind of deeper story. Meaning he's still in season one, and I'm like, well, if you're more about story and stuff, have you seen Classroom of the Day? He's like, oh yeah, I've seen that, and I loved it. So I'm like, oh okay. I'm letting the game, I guess. I just told him that I'm on the third season. Oh, uh, well, if he says it's good, then I'm enjoying it. I've been enjoying it. But the fact that he also said it's good, it gives me even more confidence in the show, I guess.
4日後にクラスメートに評価をつけ、賞賛に値する生徒3名、新しい得点が与えられる。プロテクトポイント。
Protected from expulsion?
措置を受けたとしても無効にする権利だ。
Huh.
ありにも豪華すぎる報酬だな。
Mm-hmm.
賞賛票をプラス、批判票をマイナスとして合計し、周囲1名と最下位1名を決めることにあるからだ。最下位の生徒にはこの学校を退学してもらう。 今回1位の生徒に与えられたプロテクトポイントは他者に譲渡することができる。
Okay, I'm about to say, can that person use it to stop the other one from being expelled?
シンプルだが、今までで一番残酷な試験だな。いや、意味わかんないっすよ。
This will divide the class. First of all, is the vote gonna be like public?
そのものにペナルティはない。
大学自体がペナルティじゃねえ。
Like, will people know how you voted?
理不尽だと思うのも当然だ。だが、決まった以上、ルールに従い。
Ruleはルールだ。
ルールはルールだ。
師匠である坂柳の父親は理不尽な試験を行うタイプには見えなかったが、絶望するのはまだ早いよ。
例えばクラス全員が団結して全員の票を同数にすればいいのよ。
Would that be possible?
それは無理。
Okay.
クラス外の生徒にも賞賛票を1票投票する。だから、クラス内で票をコントロールするのは不可能だ。2000万ポイントを用意できれば退学を取り消さないわけにはいかないだろう。
2000万ポイント。ああ、どうすんだよ、どうすんだよ。マジで最悪な試験が始まる。
山内うるさい。
んだよ。にくいね。あ？てめえだって余裕こいてられる立場かよ。分かっていないのは君だよ。
レッドヘア君。レッドヘア君。
冷静になろうよ。平田はいいよな。絶対に最下位になることはないんだから。てめえは一番安全じゃねえかよ。勝ったら突っ込んでろよ。今高円寺と話してんだよ。
そこまでよ須藤君。
鈴音。
まだ投票まで時間はあるわ。
自分自身や同一人物を複数回記入することも不可能だ。では4日後にクラス内投票を行う。わかったな。
He's looking at him, telling him, okay, if you have a plan, you better execute it in 4 days.
そこで提案なんだが、俺たちで組んで投票し合わないか。
賞賛票の名前を書き合うってこと？
グループでカバーし合うってのは俺も賛成だ。この中の誰も欠けてほしくないしな。
私も。
決まりだな。俺も手を打っておいた方がいいか。
Is Ryūen gonna come into play? The fact that they're showing him right now. He's reading. Is he meeting Ayanokoji there? Okay.
余裕なのね、龍炎くん。
鈴音か。それに金魚の糞も一緒か。
He said king. I heard king.
あなた、今回の特別試験、どうするつもりなの？
俺は何もしない。
あなたが退学してくれるなら、喜ぶ人は多いでしょうね。
であるお前らとしちゃ、ここで潰しておくのがベストな判断だ。俺が抜けた後の D クラスじゃ勝ち目はない。
この会話が最後になるかもしれないから、一つだけ聞かせてくれない？退学になることなく生き残れる？
愚問だな。当然だろ。それとも生き残る秘策を伝授してほしいのか？
いいえ、実を受け入れたあなたを見て、私も少しは覚悟を決められそうよ。誰がふさわしいか判断し、決断を下すだけよ。それなら、私の実力はそこまでだっていうことかしら。
強制にしか聞こえないぜ。
私は入学当初から足を引っ張る生徒には容赦なかった。
I'm sure about that.
できねえな。
あなたに何がわかるの？
Sudo was someone that was holding you back, but he still helped.
言葉の節々に弱気が見えるしてんだよ。自分の兄にすら向き合えないお前の覚悟なんてたかが知れてるぜ。
That is true.
結局俺にお前はもうクラスというぬるま湯にどっぷり使ってんのさ。それができるのは俺やクラスメイトを駒としか見ていない坂柳くらいだ。
And you.
打開策などありはしないんでしょう。
なぜそう思う？
結局、あなたは退学するのだから。
Nah, he's not going anywhere.
俺は多分
See? I knew it.
どんなにあがいたところで、彼の退学はなく
Nah, I don't know about that.
どうかな。だがあいつの言うことも一理ある。
どういう意味？
まずはお前の兄が卒業していなくなる前に
気に入らないけど、あなただけよ。
だったらそうなのかもな。
嫌な言い方ね。
兄へのコンプレックスはまだまだ
Oh,
強い。
for sure.
さ、今回の試験、私はどうすればいいわけ？
お前の周りでもグループができ始めたんじゃないか。今はおとなしくしておくのが得策だ。平田と別れたことは K にとってプラス材料になったかもしれないな。
Really?
女子人気の高い平田と付き合ったまま
Oh, okay.
清高は誰に批判票を入れるつもり？
He's not gonna tell
クラ
you.
スにとって今後
Okay.
不要な人間を選択するつもりだ。
まさか私とか言わないでしょうね。
お前はクラスにとって重要な存在だ。それはありえない。
そう。
もしクラス内で批判票の誘導に気づいたら連絡してくれ。
オッケー。すぐに連絡する。それじゃあね。
ああ。
I thought he was gonna say something.
待ち伏せなんて良くないよね。でも。
You she waiting for Ayanokoji?
待ってたぜ。
Huh?
おはよう、綾小路くん。
おはよう、綾小路くん。
ああ。おはよう、一ノ瀬。
今日も寒いね。
That's not what you wanted to talk about.
じゃあ、一緒してもいいかな。
What is she after? Is she doing Manabu's not Manabu Nana whatever his name is. Beating Nagumo.
まさかお前が辞めるのか。
やだな。退学するなんて言ってないんだけど。
顔に書いてある。
そう？
本当に書いてるわけじゃないぞ。誰かのために犠牲になるのか。
ちょっと違うかな。私の持つ他のクラスへの賞賛票、綾小路くんに入れてもいいかな。
遠慮しておく。
綾小路くんにこそ入れるべきだもん。
じゃあもしもの時はお願いするかもしれない。
綾小路くん、
Sakayanagi.
少しよろしいでしょうか。じゃあ私行くね。
ああ。
先日理事長である父の定職が決まりました。
By who?
何者かが画策しているのかもしれません。
Is it done by his father?
退学させるために
You, Ayanokoji, right?
と考えることはできませんか？
Yeah, so it's his father's doing.
やはりあの男が関与していたということか。
停戦だからこそ試験で綾小路くんに対してマイナス要素を与えることは絶対にいたしません。
Okay.
私の負けで構いません。次の勝負も断っていただいて結構です。
俺との戦いの前に手下に裏切られるような展開に
I would expect it.
私は誰を退学にするか決めました。桂木浩平くんです。
Of course.
この仲良しクラスの退学者が誰になるか、この試験の一番のお楽しみです。
What does she hold a grudge against Ichinose or something? What did she do to her? Like I feel like she's holding a grudge, and I don't know why.
僕も会長、ご相談したプライベートポイントの件ですが。
俺と付き合え、ほなみ。簡単だろ。
Why?
私がみんなを守らないと。
Huh. I guess now I'm seeing where she's going with this. Okay, now it's making sort of like sense. I think I see what she's trying to do. But why does he want her to date him? For what reason? When it comes to her in particular, with this new test, they're saying that one person is going to be expelled no matter what, right? And the only way to save that person, I guess, from expulsion is with 20 million private points, I guess, right? And I know that in their bank account or whatever with Ichinose, she has a lot of points. I don't remember exactly how much she has, but I'm guessing it's not to the 20 million points that's required. And with Nagumo and the fact that he sort of like has this whole um reserve of points, I guess, because if I remember correctly, when they were trying to expel that girl from his class during the last exam or whatever, where they had a duel between him and Manabu, they said during that episode that he's sort of like the way Manabu only had his class's points that they pulled together in order to stop their person from being expelled. Nagumo has points from multiple classes. So it makes the reserve, like the amount of points that he currently has in his possession, I guess, a lot, that he can give her some private points in order to have it saved. And then whenever the person that they want to expel um, has been chosen and whatnot, that she can use the points that she has, right? And that Nagumo gives her in order to save that person. Because she's saying she has to protect everyone. And that's the only way that she can protect everyone and not let anybody be expelled is by buying whoever's going to be expelled, buying the expulsion back. And that's with 20 million points, which she currently doesn't have. And Nagumo, I'm assuming, has or can supplement the ones that she has in order to reach that goal. So Nagumo is like, I can give you those points, and what I want in return is for you to date me. Now, why does he want her to date him? That's the question. Does he actually like her, or is it somehow? I don't think it's that, because I feel like this guy is a manipulative kind of person. So I don't think he's just asking her to date him just because he likes her. I think it's for another more nefarious goal that I don't currently understand or know. So, and then when you factor in Sakayanagi and her feelings toward Ichinose, and the fact that before she was going to go after Ichinose, she went to Nagumo and told him what her plans were. And then at the end there with Ayanokoji, she was like she's really interested in how Class B's expulsion thing was gonna play out. And Ichinose had just left Ayanokoji and she was, I guess, looking toward the direction that Ichinose left. So it's like she has this thing toward Ichinose. She wants her expelled. She wants her out of the class, or at least be not liked by her students, classmates anymore. There's that. And then there's the meeting that she had with Nagumo. And then there's Nagumo wanting her to date him. So it's like with those three, Ichinose is probably the most forthcoming out of all of them. But when it comes to Nagumo and Sakayanagi, we don't know what kind of deal they made in the background when it comes to Ichinose. And with Ichinose, not in Ichinose, oh my goodness. With Sakayanagi wanting Ichinose gone, I guess. She could have made a deal with Nagumo, and he's gonna help her get Ichinose expelled. And this date me kind of thing is probably a scheme in order to get that to make that happen. I don't know. This show and all the manipulations, I'm like, what the heck? Um, Ichinose was waiting to ambush Ayanokoji. And then as they were working together, she's like, have you found someone to be working with you to get to school or something? Or then he's like, no. Did she say she wanted to? I don't know, but I don't think it went there. And then they started talking about this a special test or exam that's coming up. And she's like, okay, I don't no, I mean, I don't remember everything that they said, but basically, Ayanokoji could tell that she's sort of like she doesn't want anybody from her class to be expelled. So I'm guessing she's willing to sacrifice herself in order to keep everybody else from leaving the school, from being expelled. But then again, with the fact that she has a deal sort of like going on with, oh, excuse me, it's like almost 1 a.m. and I'm sleepy. So it's like with this deal that she has in the background, I don't know. Ayanokōji could read on her face that she's willing to sacrifice herself, and he immediately confronted her about it. He's like, "You're not going to sacrifice yourself, right?" And she's like, "No, I'm not going to." And he's like, "It's written on your face." So I guess she considered it, but I think after having talked with Ayanokoji, she's not gonna do that anymore, and now she's thinking about accepting Nagumo's proposition, I guess. But with the fact that I don't know, Nagumo clearly has. I think they said in the previous episode that a lot of the girls in Nagumo's entourage classes, whatever that he controls, that there are a lot of girls that are sort of like into him or something or other. So if Ichinose were to accept to date him, uh, I don't know about that. I feel like those girls are gonna turn against her, do something to her. So that's why when she said that, I started thinking about um Karuizawa and the fact that she broke up with Hirata, and Ayanokoji was telling her that had she not broken up with him, that a lot of girls would have just given her negative points because of their relationship, wanting to get rid of her so that they can have a shot at Hirata. So now that you see Ichinose thinking about accepting, becoming, or dating Nagumo, it's like, wouldn't that, wait a second, can other classes give negative? No, I don't. I know other classes can give positive points to other classes, and Ichirusika just told Ayanokoji that she could give him a positive points or something or other like that. Can they also give negative points? Because if that's the case, and what I was thinking that, okay, if other classes students can give another class student a negative point, then if she accepts being Nagumo's date, then all those girls that are into Nagumo will give Ichinose their negative points. I guess will give her negative points, and she'll probably have the lowest among all of the class, like class B, right? She'll be like the lowest, and then she's gonna be up for expulsion, which will be something that Sakayanagi was looking forward to, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm taking way too deep into this. But yeah, with this new test, I mean, they had the final exam. The teacher was happy that none of them failed, but the school wasn't happy, and they're like, we're gonna have this special test where you're gonna give positive points and negative points, and whoever has the most positive points is gonna get this. What did they call the points? Protection point. that is going to protect you in case you are like in danger of being expelled. You can use that point to sort of like save yourself. But then the person that has the lowest is going to be expelled. And when they started the school, and then they said that the school, when they started the episode, they said that the class C, none of them failed. And then you see Hirata just looking at everyone and being sort of like harmonious and all of that, and he was clearly happy with the way everyone was. And I'm like, with this new test exam that has just shown up, the that whole harmony is gonna be destroyed, right? And then they started arguing already, you know. And Hirata tried to bring the situation under control, but they're like, why are you like butting here? You're probably the safest among all of us. Because all of the girls like look up to him, like a whole lot of bunch of people look up to him. So it's like they don't expect him to be at the bottom at all. So he may not be the top, although he might be the top. The people look up to him and everything. He might be the top. He's the leader of the class, of the group, right? Or the class. With Horikita also up there as well. Ayanokoji is still sort of like being like he's a presence in the class, but he's not that big of a presence. So he's probably gonna be safe because he's not making any kind of waves. So he's not gonna receive a whole lot of positive points. He's not gonna receive a whole lot of negative points. He's just gonna be somewhere there in the middle. But when it comes to Hirata, he's like safety is sort of like assured. So that's why the others were like, why are you speaking right now? You know, you're probably going to be safe. We are the ones that are going to be on the chopping block. And Horikita tried to jump in there and say something, and they're like, calm down. We're going to find a way. And the teacher's like, yeah, not really. Whatever you're trying to do, it's not going to work. One of you is going to get expelled. But either way, people are trying to find a way to not be expelled. And you have Ayanokoji's group that also talked about it. And Yukimura was like, let's basically give positive points to each other, I guess. And just people trying to find a way to keep themselves in the school. And then that's where you had Karuizawa also call Ayanokoji wanting him to help her, like how she should go about this. And he just told her to lay low, not to make any waves, you know. And that the fact that she broke up with Hirata is a good thing for her. And he also asked her to tell him if there were any groups that are being formed with negative points, like giving negative points things in mind, to tell him that. And she's like, okay. But then Sakayanagi approached Ayanokoji and was like, okay, with this new test coming up, let's hold off on our bet, on our agreement, on our pact, and focus on this particular situation that's arisen. And she's like, she gave him information that her father, who was the chairman, got suspended, and that somebody else sort of like took over, and it's that person that's sort of like leading the charge when it comes to this special exam. And they're trying to do this in order to get one person expelled. And I'm like, wait, don't tell me it's Ayanokoji's father that's behind this, wanting to get Ayanokoji expelled, because he doesn't want him at the school. He wants him out of the school. And the chairman was like, unless he wants to go, he's not going anywhere. So now he's trying, I believe that he's trying to force the situation, get him expelled with this test that's coming up. So I think that's what's going on. Even Ayanokoji mentioned it. Don't tell me it's that man that's doing this or something or other like that. Clearly, it's his father behind it. So I don't know. Even with his father behind it, I don't see Ayanokoji being expelled. At first, when they said that they were going to expel one person or whatever, and Ayanokoji wants Kushida to be expelled, I was thinking that he was gonna manipulate things in such a way to get her expelled through this means. But I don't think First off, I don't think she's gonna receive. If we're just going by her popularity, I guess, in the class and everything, she's well liked. So I don't see her having many negative points. So I don't see her being expelled based off of this. And also, Ayanokoji was planning on expelling her before this test even came up. So he did not factor this test into his calculations when it comes to Kushida. So I feel like this test is not really gonna do anything for. It's not gonna get her expelled unless Ayanokoji manipulates things in such a way that she gets a lot of negative points and then gets expelled. But so I don't think this is the way that she's gonna be getting expelled. Um, Horikita and Ayanokoji went to visit Ryūen because you have class A, class B, class C, and class T, right? We are currently class C. We don't know who's going to be expelled in class C as of now. Class D is Ryuen's class, and the Horikita is assuming that Ryuen is going to be the one expelled. And logically, that's probably what would happen. But with Ayanokoji not wanting Ryuen expelled, I don't think that's gonna happen. So I don't know who's gonna be expelled in his class, but I don't believe it's going to be Ryuen. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but I don't think Ryuen is going anywhere because Ayanokoji still has use for him. Oh, and then Ayanokoji did tell Karuizawa that in their class he's gonna basically vote for the person that he feels like won't bring anything to the class moving forward. That's who he's gonna be voting for. So he still wants to win along in the school, so he's gonna find some kind of way to make that happen. Sakayanagi is wanting what's his name, Kasuragi, expelled. I mean, he's the leader of the other faction, class A, so it makes sense that he wants to get rid of him. That she wants to get rid of him. So there's that. So it's like currently they're taking Ryuen in class D, whoever in class C. Class B, I don't think anyone's gonna get expelled. If someone is chosen, Ichinose is gonna be buying their expulsion back with the points that she's gonna receive from Nagumo. And then you have Class A that's working to at Sakayanagi that's working to get rid of I just said his name. Kasuragi. So would that happen? I don't know. I don't know who's gonna get expelled. So I guess we'll see. Yeah. So I'm guessing there's gonna be sort of like, if things go according to plan, there should be like four expulsions in total, right? One from each class, unless they're able to buy back whoever's getting expelled. Buy back or buy them back, whatever. I'm tired. Is there anything else? I think I've talked enough. Thank you guys for watching. And if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is gonna be in the pinned comment. So you can just click on it and you can watch it right now. And you can also catch up with all my previous Classroom of the Elite reactions. There's a playlist in the comment as well. So thank you for watching and I will see you next time. Bye. From the grave, so close to be a slave of the darkness that